Connecting to cloud. All right. Hi, guys. So thanks for joining us. It is March 12th, and I'm going to go through and quickly celebrate some rock stars. And I want you guys to post in the chat anything that is not on here that you need to celebrate. First and foremost, I have been informed from a little birdie that Janine hit diamond today, which is super exciting. Yay for you. What do you... I can't read fingers. Would you like to?
Sorry. She is set to hit diamond on Thursday. She locked it in today.
Yeah. So official will be this coming Thursday, because even if whatever you do today, it's not recognized until the following week. If it was yesterday, it would be today. But it's always, we have a Thursday to Wednesday calendar, but we're going to go ahead and celebrate it anyways, because we know it's going to happen, which means Hannah is in her last week of 1-star qualification and will be 2-star qualifying next week, which is super exciting. 2-star, guys, is seriously like, it's just the beginning, but that is something that you need to put on your vision board for this year, not next year, this year, because that is where you open your second business center. And that is when now every time Hannah gets like too many Success Club points, I'm like, Hannah, can we talk about making sure that you're cycling and putting the rest under Kevin? She's like, I know, girl. But now she can put everything under her second business center when she gets to open that up. And it still, it still will show up as Hannah, but it'll help her even more, because then it's like it can be on the weak leg of her husband, and so they both cycle. So I'm not going to go into that today. That is not for this call, but it is really important for you guys to learn more about cycle and volume. And if you have questions and you want to learn, in our team page, there is a cycle volume and cycle playlist of some of my favorite YouTube videos that you can use. And if you are not in our team page, I can share it into the Elevate group or somebody can, but it's just my favorite like YouTube things that everybody breaks it down. So let me get to if anybody else has anything else to celebrate though, please post it in the chat, because we love celebrating. I'm just, a lot's going on. Ooh, got some man farts coming over here from Charlie too. Okay, so can you guys see this leaderboard? Are you looking at it? Okay, so for Success Club, I have been told as well that Hannah is not at 8 and she is at 12. So way to go, Hannah, for locking in Success Club 10. I have 9 somehow. I don't know what's happening. Go me. Let's see. And then I'm going to read the 250 plus board is Melissa, Sabrina, myself, Rachel, Hannah, and Matt McDonald. Way to go. Top recruiters, we've got with one coach, Amy Ryder, myself, Brittany Thomas, Cassie Galloway, Danielle Johnson, Heather Shields, Jamie, woohoo, hosting the call tonight. Janelle, sorry, I only have one contact in. I had to throw one out when I was driving today. Probably not really super safe, but Julie Mansell, Justin, which is also Danielle. So Danielle has 2 actually. Katie, Catland, Natalie, Nicole Williams, Norm McRitchie, Samantha, Sarah Jennings, Savannah Scheffler. I'm so sorry. Vincenza, I love you. I'm so sorry if that's you when you're watching this recording. If anybody knows who this is, please correct me. I think it's on Carolyn's team. I'm the worst. I apologize. All right. Hannah has 5 coaches and is amazing. Michael DiMatteo has 3 coaches. Carolyn has 2. Janine has 2, and probably more since this report has been run. Go girl. Jody Wolf has 2. Michael Carvington has 2. And Nicole Lazmak has 2. Way to go. Oh, that's so embarrassing. I'm the worst. Okay. Now, and you guys can see this now, a new picture. Is this a March Success Club update? Anybody? A thumbs up from anybody? Okay, I can only see like 4 faces and nobody that I could see was doing anything. And sometimes Zoom, you change screens and it's no longer sharing. All right, so like I said, Hannah is at 12, super awesome. I've got 9. Jody Wolf has 4. Michael has 4. Elizabeth Keys has 4, Nicole Lazmak has 4, Jamie Schmidt has 2, the rest of everybody has 2. Heather Shields, Danielle, and Justin, so technically 4. Leah Carter, Amaris, am I saying that right? Janine Strong, Michael Corvington, Janelle Kidwell, Melissa Ludwig, Mark Ludwig, so 4 there. Julie Mantle, Travis Fox, and Julie, does this, I don't know if she's on here or not, and we're farting again. That may have made her Emerald. I have to check on that. Travis Fox, Jamie, Rachel, Cassie Galloway, Catlin Wilson, Casey Campos, and Jessica Rio, and Nicole Lash. So way to go. All right, so that out of the way. Now we're gonna hear from Jamie. She is a rock star coach. She has just like killed her business. She was posting like a coach before she was a coach. Nicole Williams is actually her upline sponsor, and Nicole is my coach. So Jamie is my grandbaby coach, but she has just been so awesome, and she actually lives in our town too, so she's local, which is super fun. So she hit Success Club 10 her first month. She hit Emerald her first month, and she is in month 1 Success Starter. So she is just rocking it. I met her before she signed up to coach. Nicole brought her to my house for we did a Super Saturday at my house because the only closest ones were super far away. So if you have a prospect, go with them, and they're local, get to a Super Saturday with them. It was really kind of cool for her to see the other people, talk to us, and help seal that deal. So anytime you have somebody that's slightly interested in their local, be like, hey, do you want to go to do a free workout with me and my coaches? You're gonna love it. And so look up, there's one in April. I want to say the 7th, but I could just be totally wrong. Let me look at the calendar. April. Well, the 7th isn't a Saturday, so that's not that. Maybe the 11th. Look it up in your Coach Online office. But she is just gonna tell us what's for her. She's done a lot of FaceTime, some face-to-face stuff. She'll talk to you about what her and Nicole did in their neighborhood. Anyways, take it away, Jamie. You're a rock star. You're amazing. Just listen to her. Thanks.
You're so awesome. Thank you. So I don't really think I've done very much, but I did take the initiative. So anytime that I sign up for anything, I kind of just put my whole heart into it. A little bit about me. I live here in Fayetteville. Nicole's my coach, and April's my grandmother coach. So I am a military wife. My husband and I have been in the military for 18 years now. So we've traveled, and I've met so many people and learned so much from so many people. So just the person that I am, I like to get to know who they are and where they come from. So I'm always interested in that. I do work full time. I do hospital administration at the hospital on post here at Fort Bragg. And the entire journey from what, when I was talking to Nicole, is my journey started a long time ago. So before I had even thought about coaching or anything like that, I really kind of just looked in the mirror one day and said I needed to get myself together. This happened about 2.5 years ago. My mom, she passed away after a routine knee surgery. Did not expect that, had 4 days to make a decision on whether we were going to keep her or not. And so that was my first breaking point. When my mom was in ICU, I got a phone call from my dad telling me that he had just been diagnosed with cancer. Not knowing he was, I was in the hospital with my mom. And so, I said, okay, Dad, what do you want to do? And he said, well, I'm going to fight it. And I said, well, that's what we're going to do. And 2 days later, I had to call him and tell him that his ex-wife had just passed away. And not even a year later from that, he passed away. So the 9th of this month, he passed away 2 years ago. And then the 28th of this month, my mom passed away 3 years ago. So I kind of had a big gut punch. And I had a really hard time getting back on my feet. So from there, I found myself coming home and calling USAA and getting life insurance. And watching my two daughters, I have an 11-year-old and I have a 16-year-old now, waving at me because I'm sitting in the car for an hour, and I'm like, yeah, I need to do something, because I do not want them at 34 and 35 burying me. So that was my huge gut punch. I kind of woke up on my own. I didn't have a tribe, which I'm very blessed to have a tribe now. And I wasn't even aware that this even existed. So when Nicole had asked me about, hey, you're already posting, you're already working out, you're already investing in yourself, why don't you share that with other people? And I didn't really understand what that meant. So I went to April's house with Nicole, and I, watched the video of coaching and everything like that. And, I was really interested. And like I said before, anything that I commit to, I put 100% in. And so with that, I have older girls, and, every time we're on a call, I just want to give a shout out to those moms that have young babies, because this is hard. I mean, I have older girls that, fend for themselves and, that are driving, and I don't think I could do it. I mean, this is daunting. It really is. But at the end of the day, if you set your goals and, you have that target point and you want to reach it, if you have that drive, you'll make it, So I just wanted to tell you all that. Whoever has, young babies, I just have a lot of respect for you. So yes, the first month I did all those fun things, not realizing I was doing all those great things, but I knew they were numbers and I knew they were growing. So I wanted to keep growing, whatever that meant. And then I also was the challenger of the week as well. So I was like, what is this? So then I realized I got something in the mail for actually participating. And I'm like, okay, this is great, because if I'm not, holding myself accountable and posting, then I'm not going to get like mail, because nobody mails anything anymore. So I was super excited about that. But I just wanted to, to say that not all of us are stay-at-home moms. It's doable. Those that are stay-at-home moms have it super hard. But I did want to, talk about finding a way to be successful. And no matter what those hurdles are, you just kind of not look at them as hurdles, but just as a task that you need to pass. So I thought working full time and doing this was a hurdle, but it was just something I had to adjust. It was just a new system I had to figure out for myself. And so I didn't have any excuses. So I signed up, obviously, and I felt like I hit the ground running. And so I always think that if you want something bad enough, you'll work for it, because nothing comes for free. And I've had, honestly, a hard time with a couple things during, this journey of, one, figuring out who I can ask to join me. I'm not the type of person to go out and ask people for things, but people have seen the transformation that I've made. Even before I started this, I mean, I was at, my lowest point, 151 pounds at 5'3", and I never had a goal of a weight, a number. I just wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be healthy for my kids. So I've always just strived for that, ever since I kind of got on this ship that I've been, sailing, and ended up with all of you guys. So your posts, everything has kept me accountable, has kept me driven, has kept me, just positive, because everybody's going through something. And I'm just like, what, if she's going through this, then there's really no excuse for me, because I'm not going through anything this week or this day, but tomorrow might be different. So I always want to take advantage of the good days that I have, because I know maybe tomorrow might not be the best. But the first week that I had signed up, I really didn't do anything. I wanted to learn what I was getting myself into. I just signed up on a Saturday morning when I was doing my own personal development, and took my debit card out, and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. So I had to really learn what I signed up for. So I took that first week and kind of just read up and read the post and everything like that, which I think is very important to figure out what I got myself into. So After that, I felt like I hit the ground running. I have a workout group at work that I actually brought on board with me too. So they have worked with me 18 months prior to even getting to where I'm at. So we had already been holding each other accountable. So those were like what Nicole was saying were my warm people, because they already knew that I was, holding myself accountable. I was already showing up. I was already doing the 30 minutes at, lunch, going to the gym at work. So those were my warm people. So I had to figure out after that first week how I can get to everybody else. And there's a couple things that I want to talk about. But what I will say is that I do have an issue, and nobody's perfect, but I do have an issue with followers, because literally, like, my coach has like 4,000 followers. April, you have over like 13,000 followers. Like, there's so many of you guys that have so many followers, and I literally on my Instagram have 242 followers as of like yesterday when I looked at it. So I do not have a huge following, which is crazy. And then Facebook as well, I only have 466 people that I'm friends with. So you don't have to have like a huge following to be able to make it work. So I'm making what I have, the tools that I have, and what I've learned with social media and the apps that I have, I'm making it work. I'm making it work in my favor. So I am working on my followers, but I just don't know how to even get there. But again, I'm only in month 1. So I have to keep telling myself that. And that not every person from the Middle East is my friend. So, which cracks me up every day. But as I said before too, if you have 1 ounce of drive in you, you can be successful. If you want it, it will work. The energy that you put out, and I have all my stuff written down because I'm trying to go over my notes, but so the energy that you put out and the excitement that you show, even in your videos, your pictures, even just in like your daily life routine too, people are going to want to know what you're doing and how they can do it as well. So I have a hard time being positive because I feel weird. So I always just try to stay positive as I possibly can, because people are watching me. And then, with the positive actions that I'm putting out, I get positive responses back. And so another thing is with us connecting with people that we haven't talked to in months and years, to me, it's a cold ask. It's a cold relationship. So you have to build on that relationship. So anybody that you are, thinking about talking to, or even if they've even contacted you and said, hey, what are you doing? It's a cold relationship if you have not even built, anything within the last couple months with them. And a lot of these girls too that have contacted me, I've known since high school. And I've known them from high school, but I don't know them now. I don't know them as adults. I don't know them as mothers. I don't know them as professionals. So I have to remember that I have to build the relationship. They're not who they were. I'm not who I was years and years ago. So all the relationships of people probably that I haven't talked to in a year, I consider them cold. I just don't have a connection with them. I haven't kept that connection with them. And so for me to help them, they have to trust me, and we have to build that relationship. So that's another thing. And then engaging with them, also making them feel like you want to know also what's going on in their life, not just for them to help you or them to, come work out with you. That's not what it's about. It's about building the relationship. It's about building, trust and, making that commitment together as a team. So I have a couple points that I think have made me be a little bit, successful. The first one is, or the main one is positive, with the connecting, is that FaceTime. So like I said, there's some people that, contact me that I haven't talked to in a couple months. Even, love you. That's my big daughter. And so there's, like I said, people that have contacted me that I haven't talked to in years or months or whatever. And so anytime they message me, I always respond to them. Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's FaceTime. I'd love to see your face. I'd love to see your beautiful face. Like, I haven't seen these people in so long, and I have not lived, and we're from Arizona. I have not lived in Arizona literally since I was 20, and now I'm almost 37. So how am I going to build a relationship with somebody through text? I'm not. And I'm a people person. I want to see people's faces. I want to interact with them. And then especially if we're going over packages, I want to be able to show them my computer of like what we're talking about. So to me, I just feel it's important to FaceTime, to take that time out, to reconnect, to build that relationship, to talk about what has changed in your life, in 18 years and 22 years and 25 years. So, and I'm not even reading any of these comments. So it's important to me to be able to reconnect on FaceTime or Facebook Messenger, but I'm always FaceTiming people. So I always think that if you're gonna want somebody to join your team, then you need to take the time out to know them, to get to know them again. And then my other thing is without FaceTime and without connecting, and it can be a phone call too. There's times that I don't have time to FaceTime, but I do eventually FaceTime because I want to see them. I want to talk to them. I want to see what's going on. But how can you connect if there's no intent? So, hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm selling this stuff. No, that's not what we do. We're doing life. We're changing lifestyles. We're creating a change. We're trying to see what's missing, from them, whether they're going through a certain storm, for us to be able to help them. Where can we meet them? So I just think that that's, important to be intentional. And so I found that doing that, just that one thing, interacting with them that way, is for them to be able, they commit better. That's just me. Next is what I was talking about is positivity. Is so for you to be positive, when you're doing videos, when you're waking up, at 4 and 5 a.m. doing your workouts, just smile, just be happy. Nobody wants to see you frowning. Nobody wants to see you struggling. It is a struggle. There is a burn, all that. But at the end of the day, when we're done with our workouts, we're excited, we're happy, refreshed, and it's a place for us to be able to take out whatever frustrations that we're having, but, relay that to where, we are positive. And then with that, having fun. I'm just very weird sometimes with, I guess, being in front of the camera and having fun, because I look weird. I'm just like, people are going to judge me. Okay. So, I just finally got over it. We're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. Every video that I post is not going to be right. It's not going to be perfect. But because we're learning, we're not going to do, a squat correctly, or our legs are going to be so fatigued that we can't even keep our balance anymore. But that's the stuff to where, we just kind of pick ourselves up and we just laugh about it. So in the vibe, that I put out is, what I get back. So the positivity, us trying, and, the accountability, and, people being interested, they're like, girl, you work out every single day. Like, how do you do that? Well, I hold myself accountable. And two, if I want to make a change, if I want to see a change, within myself, I have to be committed. So that's another thing. And then, with that too, it's just the positivity. People just feed off of that. So just always remember that people feed off of that positivity, because sometimes they're not doing something, or something's going on in their life. They want to have that joy. So what you're doing is inspirational. So don't think that if you make a mistake or you post something that looks silly or whatever, people are watching and people are taking notes, whether you know it or not. Another thing that we did, the third, so I have connecting Facebook, being positive, huge, be positive, and don't be afraid of your mistakes. And then Nicole and I actually, we came up with a neighborhood wellness group. We called it the Neighborhood Wellness Summit. And so we live in a community to where half of it's old, half of it's new. And we have a neighborhood page. So with that, we were thinking, okay, what can we do? You know, this would be so awesome if we can just kind of get the community involved. So we had the Wellness Summit. We had infused waters to where people could make their own water. And then we had charcuterie board as well that we served. And we talked about our journey. We talked about where we got started. We talked about, you know, what we do, what we offer, but it wasn't an opportunity to sell. It was an opportunity to open up the doors to people within the community that were interested in either one, eating better or making a change or being held accountable in that aspect. So that actually helped out significantly. I know from that, I think Nicole got like 2 or 3 people on her side. We just kind of like separated the people. So, and then we also had a questionnaire. So we did a questionnaire for them to fill out too while we were talking. We showed Rachel Hollis inspirational video. Kim Fitzpatrick, she's out of Canada. She's freaking amazing. And so showed that and kind of just went over, like I said, what we did. And then we created the private wellness group for our community and invited those people to it, offered it on the website, on the neighborhood page, and then added more people to that. And so we're planning on the, the community obstacle course. I know we had talked about that, to where each person signs up and they sign up on different like exercises. So one of the girls, she has a pool. I think she's not the only one in the neighborhood that has a pool, but on the new side, she has a pool. So she was saying on one of those, that can be one of them, to where I guess I don't even know how long her pool is, but anyways, one of the exercises could be from swimming from one side to the other. And then one of them could be ropes, and it's, you know, through, I don't know, maybe like 1.5 miles or 2 miles, to where it's just different stops, and just getting the community involved. So that's another way too. And then we're also focusing on trying to get together a workout as well. So that way it can be kind of like a monthly thing and a check-in, and, you know, just getting people involved and kind of opening them up to what we actually offer, what we're able to offer them, and gain, you know, challengers. We have the challenge group that we're going to do, but there's a lot that goes into it, you know, but it's going to be worth it. I know it's going to be worth it. It just takes some time to do it. So yeah, the neighborhood thing is really awesome. The last, well, not the last, but second to last thing is utilize your social media and your app resources. I utilize FaceTime. I know Jess Perkins went over Triller and Lightroom on a video. Lightroom, actually, I went between that and the app Over. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the app Over before, but it's for graphics. A lot of the graphics that I do for my story on my Instagram, to where you can layer your graphics, your wording, pictures, you can fade graphics, you can do all sorts of stuff with that. So that's a good one as well. But utilizing your graphics, because with that, along with the buttons that you're able to add on Instagram and Facebook, people just like pushing buttons. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but you put, you know, a question up there or a button, yes or no, or whatever it is, they want to touch it. They want to, and then boom, there you go. You know what, let's talk about, you know, hey, I saw that, you know, you messaged me. Some of them are like, oh, don't mind me, I accidentally did it. But then they're like, hey, but I was, you know, I've been actually watching, you know, what you're doing. What is it that, you know, that you got into? So I don't know what it is with the buttons. If you have an option to put a button on your story, do it, especially with the 10 rounds. So that's a good one. And then let me see. For Lightroom, Jess, I don't know if Jess is on here right now, but with Etsy, there's presets that you can buy. So I'm not sure if you guys know that there's presets on Etsy that go with Lightroom. Some of them are like 68 cents. Some of them are like $1.99 or $2 or $3, but they come with like 6, 8, 10, 12 different presets that you're able to use. So you can download those files to Lightroom to be able to use. That's just, I mean, I like utilizing the apps that I have. I know some of us might use InShot. That's another one that goes along kind of the same thing with Triller. I haven't quite figured out Triller yet, so InShot is a little bit easier for me, but it's okay. And then the last thing, I think what really has helped me, and everybody's different, but I'm an empath. So I feel all the emotions of what everybody is going through. If you're going through a divorce, I feel it. If you're going through a loss, I feel it. If you're going through, you know, something with your teens, I completely understand because I have a teen myself. So I always find that I am relating to what they're going through or able to give them feedback. I mean, I have so many friends that come to me, not so many, but right now on my team, 2 of them are going through a separation or a divorce, and they're always asking me advice. I've been married for 17 years. I mean, I don't know shit about divorce, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you, you know, what I think, and I'm going to be honest with you. And, you know, one of my friends, she's like, I just like that you don't lie about stuff, that you don't sugarcoat it. And so I think just being honest and finding how you can relate to that person will help you. So, and it sucks being an empath. I'll tell you that, because I mean, literally, I want to cry with every situation that someone is going through because I feel so bad, or I'm just like, this can't be. Like, how am I so emotional for someone else's situation? So, but I also, you know, I always share my story because we all started somewhere. And it's not for people to feel sorry for me at all, because that is what the situation that took me from where I was to where I'm at now, to be as strong as I possibly can for my girls. So I just don't want them to think, oh, she's got all these pictures, or, you know, she's got it all together. You know, her and her husband, she's always posting pictures, and her kids or have straight teeth or whatever. I'm not perfect. I know we're not perfect, but I feel like they need to know that, you know, there's someone else really behind Instagram and really behind Facebook. And we're not perfect. I know I'm definitely not perfect, and I just don't want them to think that I have it all together, because I don't. And so we always talk about our why, and, you know, my why is, you know, the situation that I went through and me wanting to be stronger and healthier for my girls. So I've just kind of taken little bits and pieces and learned from, you know, other coaches, and, you know, I'm not there yet, but am trying, you know, to be the best coach that I can. And invest in my coaches and invest in my challengers, and just know that they're not alone. You know, I don't want them to get discouraged. I don't want them to get overwhelmed, you know, and I'm kind of like a mama bear, to where I always make sure that they're getting it and they know how to use the app right, because just because I know how to use the app doesn't mean they know how to, you know, it's something as simple as that. Just before I got on this call, I did the Enneagram test. And so I found out that my top 3 types are exactly what I wrote about. If you have not done the Enneagram test, You should definitely do it. April, if you have the website for that. I know I went to enneagramtest.net. I don't know if it's the same thing, but they made me wait like hundreds of seconds just to get my results. But I found out that I'm a challenger. I'm direct, self-reliant, blunt, which is very true. I'm a reformer, so I always want to try to go above and beyond. And then the helper, which is very true, also known as a relator. So sensitive to other people's needs, which I think for all my coaches and even my challengers, I'm going to have to do the Enneagram for them and send it to them, because it also helps me know who they are as people. And that helps you work with them and understand them. So that's all I got. I hope it helps somebody.
That was so good. It was so helpful, and just so many like different nuggets through everything. I love that you guys are doing the live community thing. Definitely in our little group chat, let me know about that, because I have some other local coaches that would that are kind of discount coaches that would love to do that, to kind of dip their toe in. And I just think that's so great. And I want everybody on this call to just kind of like think about like your takeaways. You know, I think my favorite thing that you said was that, you know, you're not the same person you were, you know, 12, 20, you know, 15 years ago. And those people that you haven't talked to, even though so many people consider that your warm market because you know them, I just think it's so important to, like you said, just take that extra time, because yeah, you might think, oh my gosh, that's so much work. She did FaceTime and she did this and she did these extra conversations, but she hit Success Club 10 in her first month. So maybe she did a little extra work, or maybe she just did more quality work and she didn't have to do quite as much as the other things that, you know, because she took more time and was really intentional with who she was talking to. So I think that's just so important to just think about, you know, sometimes it's really quality over quantity. You don't need to send, you know, 50 invites a day if that's not working for you. If you're sending 50 invites a day and you're getting great results, awesome, way to go. But, you know, for Jamie, she was seeing great success and just really focusing on connecting, which I love. And there are people that like send 50 invites and get great results, but I really love, you know, just finding what works for you. So does anybody have any questions for Jamie? The chat was, I always tell people to like ignore the chat when you're talking, because it's like too much of a squirrel. I saw Kristen just signed a coach a few minutes ago. Yay, so exciting. Your story was just so powerful. And I know that that's going to be something that you can use to inspire so many people. You know, I have another coach that's super successful. Her name is Lori Miggins. Let me double check, but she's a multiple time elite coach. She's probably like a 7 to 9 star diamond, and she had lost both of her parents as well, kind of very similar, like very close in time. And she talks about grief, and she talks about that very much as a big part of her story. So I'll send you her so you can kind of follow her and see, you know, she talks about it so much. And I think it's so important because, you know, not everybody is in your situation losing both parents, you know, but there's so many people that have lost a loved one, that have lost a parent, that have lost somebody close to them, that are going to really relate to you. And as hard as it is, it's going to be, you know, sometimes those darkest moments are really what I was at a Shalene Johnson seminar one time, and she said, like, your darkest moment is what is going to shoot you into the stratosphere. So, you know, those dark times, like, that's what you need to talk about, because that's what somebody else needs to be connected, and they need to be reminded that they aren't alone. So thank you so much for sharing your story and for so many nuggets. Does anybody have any questions for Jamie? Triller. Yeah, I can teach you guys Triller. I need help with TikTok. I can't figure that out. So, okay, I think that's good. So, but yeah, congrats to oh yeah, Heather.
Question really quick.
Okay.
Did I miss how you set up like an actual space for these people to meet up with you in your community, like outreach?
Okay, so we did it at my house.
So what happens, like, do you have a whole bunch of people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just posted So I think Nicole posted it in the team Facebook page, like kind of the outline of like what we did with our picture and stuff like that. And I can repost that. But we, put on there what time, what we, we're going to talk about, what we were serving, and it was at my house. And people on the Facebook page were, responding, I'm interested, count me in. And so we just kind of kept count like that. And we made it like a drop-in. So it wasn't, something to where they had to be there from exactly 3 to 5. So it was a drop-in, but, we did wait a little bit, obviously, before, we got started. So we knew there was at least, I think we had like 8 people show up or something like that. And then 2 other people couldn't show. And so they emailed us or text us later or whatever. But that's what we did. We just kind of picked somebody's house, and like, for the workout, Nicole was saying, we'll have to find a place for that, but we just utilized what we had. We didn't do anything special. I kicked my husband and my kids out, and we just, had an afternoon, and we tried shakes. I had a whole setup. I'll post everything again. So I had everything set up. I had, the Energize, I had the protein. After everything, I made protein for everybody to try. So that's basically what we did. It was just kind of like a little gathering and a little sampling. So
I just wanted to say something real quick. I started our neighborhood page myself 2 years ago, and that's how I met Jamie. And the fact that it's my own page, in my own group, I make the rules, so I get to post whatever I want and advertise if I want to. So if you guys don't have a neighborhood page or a group, that is a good way to make connections.
Is it strictly just your neighborhood? Like,
yeah, it's just my neighborhood. I started it for real estate so that I could just farm within my neighborhood, and it now it's grown to multiple things.
That's so cool. So
that
cool.
was the question I had about security. Like, how do you know these people are like, safe? But I guess if it's your neighborhood, you'd feel a little more.
Yeah. And then, it's a lot of military that live here too. And so we know a lot of each other. So, and we're all nosy. So we know what's going on.
So all good things. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Jamie. This was so awesome. Does anybody else have anything?
That was awesome. Good job.
Way to start the neighborhood page, Nicole, and find this gem.
Thank you. It took me a while to work on her, but I got her.
Well, we're so glad you joined us, Jamie. You're a rock star, and we can't wait to see what you guys do the rest of this year. And keep celebrating. Go into our team page. I posted the recognition graphics. I didn't tag anyone. Love you. Just tag your people. And have the best day. Happy Thursday. And I hope to see so many of you in recognized next week for some type of rank advancement. And don't think that it's impossible, because as soon as you believe it is when we can make it happen. So let me start this recording. We're going to take a picture.